Yeah, Aaron. Very sad thing to wake up to indeed. I was just minding my own business, doing some shopping, and then all of a sudden my friend texted me, by the way, Professor McGonagall's passed away. That just made me go like, wait, what? Just look up the article, and then there it was. All over the news online. Maggie Smith has passed away. First, James Earl Jones. And now Maggie Smith. Hang on a minute. I think the time. Did you hear everything I just said, or has the time been delayed a wee bit? Sorry, something weird is going on. I might as well just repeat what I just said, just in case you didn't hear it. I was minding my own business doing the shopping when a friend and I were texting each other, and he said, Professor McGonagall's passed away. I was like, what? I looked up online, and then there it was. The articles that said that Maggie Smith passed away. So I was just in the midst of doing my shopping whilst that was happening. Gosh. And this apparently happened earlier this morning. So yeah, first James Earl Jones and now her. All our great actors and actresses, they're going away, but hey ho. It's a reminder that even the greats will pass on one day. It's just a matter of what kind of legacy they're going to bring about and how that's going to influence others for better or for worse. So, yeah, Maggie Smith passed away, and just a great, talented actress. Just, she's gone. She's gone. Although, if it's any comfort, I've heard around the news that, according to news articles surrounding this rather shocking event, according to a statement from her sons, Toby Stevens and Chris Larkin, they said, it is with great sadness we have to announce the death of Dame Maggie Smith. She passed away peacefully in hospital early this morning, Friday, 27th of September. Today. Gosh. It's a friend of my friend on the phone was just reminding me that as shocking as this is, like James Earl Jones and Maggie Smith were growing old anyway, so it was bound to happen at some point. That's what will happen to all of us. So, might as well make a live stream talking about her career and see if any of you guys have anything to say regarding this event. She's had quite the expansive career. She's been doing this acting role since the 1950s, maybe even beyond that. She's been in a lot of roles, although people will obviously remember her as Professor McGonagall in the Harry Potter series. But others may know her for her theatrical contributions for, well, theater. And others will have fond memories of other roles she's been in, like in The Lady of the Van. Lady in the Van, which is a firm favorite of one of my friends. This friend of mine, he's more simple in taste, maybe a bit too simple, because on the one hand, he likes the Emoji Movie and Big Mouth. Yeah, not exactly the best taste. But at the same time, hey, one of his favorite movies is The Lady in the Van. Understandable pick. That is a great film, especially from an acting perspective. Yeah, Maggie Smith is just one of those brilliantly talented people. I mean, there's just some actors, some actresses, just who you see in a movie or a video game or a television show or whatnot, and they're so skilled at what they do that it makes the immersion that much easier to get into. She will be missed. Such a unique blend of sass and humility. Yeah, I mean, I've only been finding out lately that she was, to my surprise, she was in a significant amount of comedies. Um, to the point where she said, if you do comedy, you kind of don't count. That's a bit hard on yourself. What do you mean you don't count? Comedy's great. That's got to count for something. um, another firm favorite that I know from people close to me. My parents are fairly fond of the film called A Room with a View. Fairly simple, slow-paced historical period piece, and it's got Maggie Smith as one of the side characters, one of the elders. It's kind of interesting that Maggie Smith has been playing the sort of elderly archetype for a good portion of her career. That's kind of crazy to think about, actually. Like even in Hook, they like put in like she started as like an elder Wendy Darling, and that was the time period when people were scarily accurate with how they applied the makeup. In regards to older people, you had that with like Maggie Smith as Wendy Darling. You had that with Sally Field as Forrest Gump's mother in Forrest Gump. You got that with the Amadeus movie with the main actor. I think was it Abraham was his name or something, where he like the elderly makeup back then was scarily on point. So I guess it goes down to performance at the end of the day too. Good makeup, good performance. And I suppose actually being elderly helps in that regard. Yeah. So anyway, Room with a View. I think that was a firm favorite for my parents. It's just the way the lines are delivered and the interactions that these characters have. About them just getting adjusted to Italy and them getting lost, but then just going with the flow of getting a tour. Really charming stuff. Finding out that she's been in a lot of comedies, I really need to get more familiar with her comedic work. With that said, I did watch Sister Act 1 and Sister Act 2, and so did... Christian RPG Gamers, hello! Maggie Smith passed away, so just thought I'd make a live stream about it. Feel free to give your thoughts in the live chat. Hi, Alec! Hi-yo! Good to get everyone here. Nice. Good to get everybody on board. Maggie Smith had quite the great role in the Sister Act movie. What a sad thing. I really love Maggie Smith. Hope God keeps her beautiful soul very close. Well, that depends on what you mean by very close. It's not up to you or me to decide. It's all in the conditions on her heart, really. So who are we to judge? How many more Harry Potter characters are still alive? Robbie Coltrane, who portrayed Hagrid, passed away in recent years. Of course, Alan Rickman passed away beforehand. Oh, gosh. Oh, yeah, now that you mention it, there are a lot of Harry Potter actors who passed away. There was the guy who played, both actors who played Dumbledore, actually. Gosh, talk about the future generation coming in. That is a valid question. How many more of them are still alive? That is a good question. She seemed like such a delightful person. Yeah. They are all older in Harry Potter. Yeah. Yeah, I guess there's kind of an irony in that, isn't there? Sarah Snape is still alive. Depends on what you mean by that. You're not one of those online conspiracy theorists who's like kind of given... Wait, he is? Keep up! You gotta be joking, right? That was a joke, right? Right. If you did a really major plot reveal of the story. Oh man, I didn't know Jen. Alright. Sorry. It's not the fact that Alan Rickman died. It was the way you said, "Oh, Severus Snape died." I said, "Yeah, that clearly happened to Deathly Hallows." Sorry. I think I understand what you were trying to say about Alan Rickman, but it was the way you said it, as if it was talking about the character who very overtly dies on screen. Yeah, you meant the actor. I'm sorry. I sound really cruel. But sorry, it's just the way Alex said it. Right. Anyway. Oh man. Was the other guy still alive? Yeah, that goes without saying. There's been, although some other of them are in tragic cases, but I'm not going to go into that hodgepodge of where they're at the moment. What we're trying to focus on here is just the life and career of Maggie Smith, and for the most part, nothing more, nothing less, unless, given the nature of these live streams, we gotta maneuver around other topics, I guess. David Thwellis is alive. Who's David Thwellis? I don't know that name. Who's David Thwellis? I genuinely don't know. David Thwellis. First I've heard that. Who? Oh, Thewlis. Thewlis? Oh, Thewlis. Why did I pronounce that as Thwellis? Thwellis. The teacher, Remus. Right. He was in some other media too, aside from the Harry Potter series. Yeah, that's it. That's the guy. Yeah, he was in Warhorse. That's another great film. Wonder Woman. Yeah. Oh, yes. That's right. Well, it's inevitable that you're gonna see acts come and go. Like Bernard Hill passed away earlier this year. You have been doing a lot more streams lately. Yeah. I guess so. He's also in Kingdom of Heaven, which is as one of the Hospitality Nights. I've yet to watch that film. It's a Ridley Scott movie. Yeah. So yeah, I have been doing a lot of streams like that. Well, they're fun to make, and it keeps me in touch with my community. Plus, it adds to the watch time, I guess. It's a good movie. Right. Good movie. Right. So, guys, do you know of any other good movies with Maggie Smith in them aside from the Harry Potter series? I was trying to mention the Sister Act series. Yeah. Valid critique to make, Alec. Valid critique. Especially if you're aware with the patterns of history in that. Yeah, a lot of those kinds of people that Alex brought up, they've, with a few exceptions, like the mainstream of them, they have this very black and white view of thinking. Nanny McPhee. Yeah, Nanny McPhee. Maggie Smith was in the sequel to Nanny McPhee. She had a very heartwarming role in the Nanny McPhee and the Big Bang. I will say, I have to go already. I'll see you later, man. I might pop back. That's all right, Alec. There's no pressure. Yeah, I've got fond memories of that film, Nanny McPhee and the Big Bang. The sequel's not as good as the first one. It probably leans a bit too much into the sort of childish aspects of it, from my liking. It's still got its charm to it. But Maggie Smith played a really sweet role in the film. Like, all throughout the film, Maggie Smith seemed to portray this very plays this sweet elderly lady whose brain is not really all there, so she ends up being kind of clumsy or mistaking the cow pat for like a comfortable seat, or like spilling like a big pile of flour or something, only to ask someone nearby to like reach for something late in the van. Yeah, late in the van. I mentioned that earlier. I'll bring that up. So there's another funny scene where a former soldier is explaining the enemy explain the concept of the enemy plane, and a soldier who clumsily drops a bomb, all because he sneezed so hard that his nose touched the drop the bomb button. You're gonna love how the plane in the film actually says enemy plane, like literally says enemy plane. Like, it doesn't say what faction they're from or anything like. It just literally says enemy plane. I mean, maybe if they played up the comedy, maybe it would have been quite unique as its own thing. Maybe, I don't know. It just seemed to lean a bit more on the childish aspect compared to the first one. Unless the first one played up the comedic aspect, but I don't know. Anyway, so it's just a scene where he's describing the bomb, and then Maggie Smith's character goes, "Oh, the tea is ready." I mean, she seems to be the sweet character, and then, but at the same time, she seems familiar with Nanny McPhee in the way that she miraculously works. Um, similar to like Mary Poppins and stuff like that. I mean, I think to my knowledge, the extent of her powers is left a mystery and up to interpretation. But whatever the case, um, they Nanny McPhee seems to be this immortal being, and they ask, "Oh, how are you familiar with this miraculous lady?" And there's this really fascinating plot reveal where Maggie Smith's character says, "Oh, I remember when I was little," and then she brings up the little bell thing that was in the first one. So in actuality, Maggie Smith was portraying the elder version of the baby from the first film. Oh, that's just so sweet. That's genuinely sweet. Another highlight in her career. Yes, the lady in the van. I was mentioning earlier that a friend of mine who does not have the best taste in entertainment. He likes the Emoji Movie and Big Mouth. But he said that The Lady in the Van is one of his favorite films ever made. So I think it all goes down to Maggie Smith's performance as, the Lady in the Van. The story of the film, I assume you've all seen it. For those of you who haven't seen it, spoiler alerts. But basically, the film, I mean, they kind of give away the source of the conflict right from the get-go, to be fair, but they reveal more details about it later on. And that Maggie Smith portrays a nun. Not the first time she would have portrayed a nun. She did the same thing in the two Sister Act movies, and she does that kind of role very well. There's a lot of indie movies that can be good. Yeah. Well, I'll need to check out the indie movies that she was in. So anyway, The Lady in the Van. So Maggie Smith plays a nun, and she's minding her own business, driving her van. And apparently, she was also a talented pianist. A lot of them are awful, but right. I'll keep that in mind. Maggie Smith is just driving along, but then she accidentally runs over a young man. And she's so overwhelmed with guilt that she runs away. And I think the reason she runs away is kind of a psychological, come to think of it, it could be a psychological consequence of how her piano playing skills were neglected, if I'm not mistaken. It's been years since I last saw the film, so feel free to correct me if I got things wrong. Like she had the opportunity to play piano music for God and Glory, but she was denied for legalistic reasons, if I'm not mistaken. Again, I could be wrong, but it's been a long time since I've seen the film. So she ran away from the sheer guilt of running over this young boy. Not letting people find out where she is, and she's been living with this one man who's a writer and also a worker, a man who has this quirk of having an imaginary friend version of himself talk to him as a form of mentally processing things. A lot of us do that. And she's just living the remainder of her life with this man who's doing his best to accommodate her with given the circumstances. And there's a lot of confronting, there's past confronting, and brilliantly acted film overall, and it's very charming, very lighthearted. It's even though there's a lot of tragic nature to it, it's nevertheless one of those feel good movies. Something that's grounded in the harshness of life, but also the beauty in how simple and fun life can be as well. I could definitely see why The Lady in the Van got so much good attention in the award shows. Back when the award shows had a soul. I suppose she was in some independent movies. Do you people know of any independent movies that Maggie Smith was in? I'd be curious to find out. Maggie Smith filmography. It's just that there's been so many movies with her in them. Not to mention also theatrical stuff as well. Man, imagine seeing someone like her do a lot of stuff. Oh wow, she even portrayed Queen Elizabeth in Richard III. Oh, Queen Elizabeth I. Right. That would have been interesting for Queen Elizabeth II to see. Queen Elizabeth II, when she was alive, really enjoyed Maggie Smith's performance in Downton Abbey. Looking at it, Downton Abbey was a much shorter series than I seem to have imagined. It was from 2010 until 2015, according to filmography. I thought Downton Abbey was way longer than that. I guess I was wrong. I guess Downton Abbey is a bit easier to get into than I realized. I really need to watch Downton Abbey when I get the chance. My family's been watching it. Anyway, let's see. Let's see. David Copperfield. You have to watch David Copperfield. Oh my days! Is that the guy? Is that Bob Hoskins? Okay. Films. Let's see. Let's see. Independent movies. A Boy Called Christmas. I've yet to see that one. That's bound to be charming. Well, Maggie Smith tends to uplift any kind of role that she's in. The Miracle Club. Gosh, that was her last film in 2023, the year before she died. Gosh, there's a thought. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. The Marigold Hotel movies. Oh, yeah. She was in both of those movies. She was this sort of grumpy lady who eventually had this redemption arc in accepting the Indian culture. It's kind of interesting that why would someone like her be going to this retirement place when she was saying no, but at the same time, the medical expert demanded that she should go there. Maybe the medical experts knew more than she could, I guess. Let's see. Becoming Jane. I've yet to watch that one. Secret Garden. Oh, yes, 1993 version. I've yet to watch that one. Gosh, there's a lot of films I'll need to look into. All right, in Harry Potter film, the character was depicted as one of the more virtuous teachers, a good role model, upholder of rules, protecting students like a lawful good. Yeah, the lawful good kind of archetype. I mean, that tends to be a common trope throughout these different movies with, the different myths, the different religions, the different outcomes. Like these archetypes, as Jung would put it, is very much inevitable because, these stories appeal to the collective unconsciousness. Something about certain actors and actresses, they tend to embrace specific archetypes. I mean, unless you're someone like Gary Oldman, who has a vast diversity of roles you could do, or someone like Denzel Washington, where you could play both the hero and the villain, or other actors like that, or even like voice actors. There's a whole bunch of voice actors and actresses. A lot of actors, especially celebrity actresses and actors, tend to stick to certain archetypes. I guess it's a way of playing safe, as well as plays into the marketing of, oh, I remember such and such from such and such. Since I know such and such as this kind of archetype, they will fit as an archetype in such and such. Therefore, it's a comfort zone for me to get invested in. So I guess by that logic, Maggie Smith, as you said, typically portrayed throughout her career the sort of virtuous, upstanding upholder of good morals, as well as the pleasant adult lady throughout her career. If that, it's called typecasting. Thank you, Baron. Typecasting. Right. seems like Maggie Smith typically portrayed sort of the upholding figure in films like Sister Act, or just like the sweet old lady in like Lady in the Van and The Room with a View. Typecasting is typically a safe way for actors and actresses to appeal to people in regards to broad marketing. Um, Without, it doesn't really take many risks. So on the one hand, they take on roles, but on the other hand, they don't really take many roles. But that said, she has been in a lot of comedies. I really need to catch up with the comedies. I mean, I did see the Sister Act movie, so there's comedies in themselves. And The Lady in the Van's a comedy, I suppose. She was known for her wit. She is quite a funny person. So not only she's really talented, she's really funny. So there is all that to take into consideration. What else? She's done a lot of theatrical work. Is there anything else you guys have to say in regards to Maggie Smith and her career and what she was able to contribute to the creative arts? I'd be curious to hear. Other stuff whilst I'm here. And then disappear into the stratosphere. Can you hear? What else has she been in? Missionary. Let's see. First ever movie, Child in the House. She was a party guest. Her first ever film was in 1956. And before that, she was a performer in BBC's Sunday Night Theatre in 1955. She's been doing this for a long time. Very long time. Let's see. She was in Sherlock Gnomes and Romeo and Juliet. She was well cast as the sort of mother figure for Romeo there, especially given the overt British setting of the premise. Again, the typecasting there at play. Nothing Like a Dame herself. There's a documentary. Let's see. She played Cecily Neville in an adaptation of Richard III. She's got quite some experience with Shakespearean work. I suppose I should probably talk about Hook next, because earlier today I was thinking about the different adaptations of Peter Pan. Unanimously, people are in agreement that the best adaptation of Peter Pan is the one made in 2003. Like, that one holds up really well, despite maybe one or two like outdated green screen effects that maybe need a bit of an update. But apart from that, it's a very solid adaptation. I like Pan. Yeah, like Pan. Oh yeah, there was a film simply called Pan, right? I think that one was less critically received, if I'm not mistaken. I still think the 2003 version is the best possible film adaptation of the story. With that said, given the nature of Maggie Smith, she did a great job at portraying Wendy Darling in the Hook film with Robin Williams and Dustin Hoffman and Bob Hoskins. That's another collaboration between Bob Hoskins and Maggie Smith. Again, like the 1990s seemed to be that scary time where elderly makeup was scarily on point. Pan was a fun movie, kind of a spin-off. Right. So I guess it's not too much harm as long as it doesn't hurt the source material, I guess. So in Hook, this is one of those cases where there's been many adaptations of the Peter Pan story, and Hook is there's plenty of implications of plenty of adaptations that delve into ask the idea, like, what if Peter Pan did grow up? There is this one person I know, the nostalgia critic, who says that one of his all-time favorite television shows is Fox's Peter Pan and the Pirates. This is a children's TV show that had a surprising amount of depth, purely because it delved into the dark, mature themes that the original book was known for. And that's the reason why the 2003 movie worked so well as well. Now, Hook, as a movie, has had a lot of mixed reception from critics and audience members alike. It was directed by Steven Spielberg and had a talented cast and made by Amblin Entertainment. And certainly, if there was any director who could get the whimsical down to a T, it was Steven Spielberg. Now, Hook is a film that does something quite fascinating for another Peter Pan adaptation. It delves into the concept of, well, what if Peter Pan grew up? What if Peter Pan actually left Neverland and actually started having a life with people? Something that was implied in the 2003 version was this very tragic romance between Peter Pan and Wendy. You see, Peter Pan is afraid of, well, at least in the original story and the 2003 movie, he's afraid of growing up because he perceives that as a threat to his fun of a never-ending adventure, as well as not having to worry about responsibilities. Escapism can work in moderation, but at the same time, if you spend too long in escapism, you're never going to solve any real problems. If anything, they'll just get worse. You need to embrace the responsibility necessary to take them on. And from there, you grow and you embrace love more often. And then that love brings people together and brings forth new life. So in this particular version of Peter Pan, this is an alternative adaptation, if you will, where Peter Pan, I guess you could view this film as a what-if scenario. This is a film where Peter Pan actually accepts that and then decides to grow up and then form a family of his own. And he's played by Robin Williams. And now we go to the other extreme where Peter becomes a bit too heavy-handed in being an adult. It's great that he's taken on these new responsibilities, but at the same time, he's gotten too strict. So a series of events happens which encourages Peter to embrace his inner child again. That's why I love timeless ideals. Exactly. Timeless beauty works when you appeal to the timeless ideals. The greatest works of art are the ones that point to the timeless stories, because if you're just going to make something that just has the politics of the here and now, or something that'll catch on to the hip trends, man, well guess what? It's dated. It's going to get dated because it's only relevant for the here and now. But what happens when that time passes? Into the trash. In Chronicles of Narnia, you have Susan also like this. Yeah. The Chronicles of Narnia, it's got a fairly similar setup. Narnia is not quite the same as Neverland, but there are some similarities in the fact that it's a fantasy world where children go to. It's away from, the England at their respective times, and they get into a lot of adventure. and then they realize that there's certain factors about these places that are meant to hint about the responsibilities back at home. Um, but the key differences between Neverland and Narnia is that with Neverland, it's perceived as this land of just pure escapism. Um, but the more time you spend there, the more time passes by in the real world, and real problems, real concerns, and people who genuinely need you will be calling out to you. But staying in Narnia, I mean, it's a fun time, but at the same time, growing up makes you grow as a person. If you don't leave if you don't leave Neverland, then you're denied that. With Narnia, it's perceived as sort of a parallel world, which is not really an escapism in the same way that Neverland is. There's still this sense of responsibility and this sense of urgency compared to Neverland, because Neverland is in this sort of eternal state, but Narnia actually has its own beginning, middle, and end. And even though when you're in Narnia, due to parallel universe rules that would really make Christopher Nolan smile with his Interstellar movie or cry, the more time you spend in Narnia, time does pass by. You do become an adult, but at the same time, seconds will pass by in the real world, and time does not pass outside of Narnia. Right. Maybe by milliseconds, because like the equivalent of like what, months or like a year or two in the real world terms is like 1,000 years in Narnia. So the difference between Neverland and Narnia is that Neverland is in this eternal state of the endless adventure of childhood, but with Narnia, there is more of a sense of urgency, more of a sense of responsibility, especially in light of all this prophetic weight going on within the narrative of the Narnia series. So Narnia is not entirely escapist. Yeah, Narnia is what people would term isekai. Yeah, Narnia is pretty much British isekai. Yeah. But nevertheless, it's not entirely escapism. There's still parallels to the real world. And of course, everyone knows that Aslan is the symbol of Jesus Christ. And there's other very overt religious symbolisms within the world of Narnia. But I suppose talking about Neverland and the themes of responsibility, I suppose it's quite fitting that at the end of the Voyage of the Dawn Treader, Aslan, the Jesus figure, says to Lucy and Edmund, "In your world, I have another name. By knowing me here, you'd know me a bit better there. This was just a temporary thing, just to aid you in realizing me back in the real world. Who I am in the real world, that's for you to decide and discover for yourself." So when it comes to going to these fantasy worlds, there is a benefit to them. They can provide imagination, adventure, inspiration, all kinds of good stuff. But at the same time, our duty could be in some distant world, but 9 times out of 10, our responsibilities or duties are in this world. We have responsibilities. We have duties to fulfill, to prepare for. So we're needed here. We can only go to other places to inspire us for what needs to be done here. Now, I've got a friend of mine that I really recommend. Fellas, are you familiar with the YouTube channel called Malika Writes? She is a London literary agent who delves into a lot of themes regarding English literature, as well as being quite bold enough to talk about the roles of masculinity and femininity. She made some videos that are very much relating to this topic. Oh, you haven't heard of her? Christian RPG gamers. you're in for a treat. If you like my content, I'm sure she'll like you'll like hers as well. So is uh, uh, quite a passionate Christian herself, and she's delved into kind of subject matter that's very sort of niche, but at the same time, it's I'd say it's very important what she's talking about. Important and to the point where I'm surprised that not many people are talking about it. I mean, I'm sure you'll get other people talking about the topic she brings up in other ways, but there's something about the way she does it that's very personal, very fascinating, honestly. There was in relation to what I was talking about, Neverland, she made 3 videos called "The Danger of the Fey World." Squid Bear, hello, welcome on board. I was talking about Maggie Smith, and then we were talking about Hook, and now we were talking about comparing Neverland with Narnia. And now I'm recommending to Christian RPG gamers Malika Wrights, and in relation to Neverland, I'm just talking about the concept of her Fey realm. There we go, just catching you up. I'll get back to Hook in a few moments, but basically, she made a 3-parter of the series. And I was actually quite surprised from one of her live streams when she said that the Fey realm was actually something that she coined. Like, wow, that was surprising. So where did she get that from? She said it was inspired by Joseph Campbell's concept of the collective imaginative consciousness. So basically, what is Malika's concept of the Fey realm, F-A-E? Basically, the Fey realm refers to this sort of imaginary plane of existence that people escape to be whatever it is they want to be. They can fly, they can make flowers grow out of their armpits or something, meet imaginary people, and all that's good stuff. But in other words, the more you spend time in the Fey realm, the more you don't actually solve the real problems that are increasing. In other words, spending way too long in the Fey realm means avoiding responsibilities. I remember the instant she mentioned this, I put in the comments, oh, you mean like Neverland? Because I think Neverland is the perfect representation of, or a perfect representation of what she described as a Fey realm, this land where, which is an imaginary plane of existence. You go to it, but at the same time, you're avoiding real world responsibilities. Neverland can be good for inspiration and adventure, but at the same time, spending too long there can mean avoiding the responsibilities. Now, of course, someone could easily criticize the Peter Pan narrative and say, well, if people just live on forever in Neverland, why doesn't everyone just fly over to Neverland and just live forever happily? I mean, sure, that could be the case. I mean, Peter Pan would probably lose some privacy, but hey, it's an option. But obviously, that's not the intention of the story. The intention of the Peter Pan story is about children being afraid of growing up, only to then over time realize, actually, there is a benefit to growing up. There is a benefit to growing up. I mean, the whole topic matter of Peter Pan is about childhood versus, well, growing up. So on the one hand, you have Peter Pan who says, why grow up? It's full of danger, responsibilities, and stuff like that. I mean, but at the same time, as much as Peter Pan puts on the heroics and a quirky smile on his face, he's scared of opening up. He's scared of responsibility. But in actuality, responsibility can strengthen the person. But how can we get through these responsibilities? Well, that's where responsibility comes in. How do you embrace responsibility? Well, it's mainly through nurture. Nurture helps you to face the responsibilities, and the nurture is represented by the character of Wendy Darling, who Maggie Smith portrays in the Hook movie in an elderly form. In the original story, Wendy was crucial for for nurture. Wendy is seen as a mother figure to the Lost Boys. I mean, Wendy's not the perfect mother figure. I mean, she's still a coming of age herself. But at the same time, this responsibility of hers, in a weird way, is a step in the right direction. The Lost Boys were quite daft because, in Peter Pan's words, the girls were far too clever to fall off their prams. There's a female empowering message for yourself. Take note, Disney Plus's Peter Pan and Wendy. Something I've learned about nurture is that people might think, well, why do you need emotions? I mean, emotions seem to cloud your judgment. But in actuality, nurture empowers every part of your being. Because if you're too caught up in here, you're going to end up in anxious thinking and some superstitious thoughts. So what nurture does, nurture grounds you right in the heart. So you're not so stuck up here. You're now brought down to here. So when nurture makes you realize you're loved as you are treasured, and it makes you realize, because I'm loved, I can overcome this. So from there, you're able to overcome the obstacles that life throws at you. And from there, you learn and you grow. And because you embrace nurture necessary to take on the responsibilities, you are then embrace the love necessary to get through these obstacles. And so you grow in love, and love not only brings people together, but love brings forth new life. Love brings life together, love empowers life, and love creates new life. And it's that kind of love that, as long as Peter Pan stays in Neverland, he is never going to realize that kind of love. Like, the narrator overtly says that in the 2003 version. And they really take advantage of that thematic in the 2003 version. Some of the most profound scenes you're ever going to see in movies. So with Hook, you get the version of Wendy who is all grown up, who has gone through the motions of being a mother, raising her own children, and all that good stuff. Meanwhile, Peter, aka what am I talking about? Jack's the son. Sorry, it's been a while since I've seen a movie. Peter takes on the name Peter Banning, and he gets married, but Peter loves the having children, but at the same time, he gets caught. You have the extreme of Neverland, where you're caught up in the extreme of escaping responsibility. But then in the real world, there's the other extreme of being a workaholic with too focused on responsibility to embrace love. So both extremes of avoiding responsibility in Neverland and being a workaholic in the real world, both of these extremes avoid the genuine nurturing love that's necessary to grow as a person. So it's interesting that Hook delves into that other extreme and how Peter overcomes that. Pardon me. So Maggie Smith's role in the Hook movie is to, I guess, reinvigorate that kind of love. What did I step into? You stepped into me basically analyzing the Peter Pan story, all because I was mentioning Maggie Smith's portrayal of Wendy Darling in the Hook movie. Just talking about stories related to her career. In Hook, Wendy sort of reinvigorates Peter's past about, and as well as inspire, being the wise archetype, in this case being a person of her age, telling Peter to a reminder of her responsibility, who she used to be. But for some reason, Peter has forgotten who he is. So he has to embrace his inner child to get those memories back. But of course, in Neverland, you're prone to losing yourself so much in the fun that you forget about the responsibilities in the real world. It's it's sort of a balancing act, as it were. I guess in the context of the Hook film, even though there are other characters that make an appearance in that make more of a longer appearance and impression in the Hook film. Wendy is still Wendy, and Wendy was still that anchor for nurture and for much of the characters in the Peter Pan story. So Maggie Smith plays an important role, and even if her role seemed somewhat small, it was nevertheless important because she was there to kind of tell Peter who he needs to be in order to save his children, which then kick-starts the adventure. So anyway, that's enough of me talking about Neverland for the time being. What else is there to mention? Do any of you guys have anything else to say about Maggie Smith or what else has been mentioned here? I might need to head off soon, but at the same time, it's good to make this kind of live stream where I get to talk about this kind of thematics and movies and stuff like that, because that's what I enjoy doing. It's fun to do it with you guys, especially given the fact that someone always seems to turn up in these live streams. Someone eventually. Be right back, guys. Right, I'll be heading off fairly soon. GG. Yeah, GG, good game. See what you did there. Self-advertising, yeah. All right. I don't think I've got much else to say. Do you guys have anything else to say about Maggie Smith, or any inflection or nuances about her acting capacity, or maybe some of her charity work that she's done, perhaps? What kind of impression has she left on you? I happen to show up and not ramble about Pung crazy. I'll do another Pung live stream at some point. You can ramble on about Pung. In fact, maybe you know what? Maybe we can get started. Do you think? Would you care to share all that you've done about the Pung lore? You know what? You've got about 5-7 minutes or so. Like, spitball all the Pung lore that you've managed to discover for all of us to be enlightened and read. Go! Fly! Right! Type, Edie, type! I'm busy working on something at the moment. Right. Okay, so did you see my breakdown on your approves of Pung video? Oh, you made one of those? Oh, hold on, let me investigate. A breakdown. Let's see. Need to do an updated version of that video. Let's see. Going to the comment section of the aforementioned video. Oh, right. Oh yeah, you left a comment there 3 days ago as of recording this. Right. Okay, for context sakes, you put in a comment saying Pung is hella underrated. Forgive my language. Glad to find another like-minded person out there. Also, my overanalyzing of her work is far greater than this overanalysis. Well, okay, I'm beginning to believe you there. The animated series of her, especially 2 to 4, are very lovely watch and worthy of more eyes. Then I said, thank you for your feedback. I've also been making live streams of Pung's recent Steam release of her hidden object video game based on her own series. Evidently so. Very relaxing stuff. My only issue with this video that's come up lately is that Pung may not approve of her using the material, which I didn't realize. Oops. Then you said, yeah, I think as long as you credit her work very prominently, you should be in the clear. I've gotten to talk with her. What? 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 Wait. What? You, what? What? You, what? What? Huh? What? What? Why didn't you say that in the first place? At this point, you said, I told you my Fortnite account, you silly. Yeah. Called it. The thing, okay, you see, the thing about YouTube is that, the way I get alerted about comment sections that, on like the YouTube channel customization thing, when you go to the comments, you see, like the first comment, and then you'll like and you'll respond to it and you'll favorite it. But the moment you either reply or favorite it, you won't get alerted about anything else regarding the comment threads. So what you have to do is go onto the video and check the actual comment threads to see if there was anything else added onto. So I'm so sorry. It's only now I just realized that. Why didn't you say that during the Pung game live streams? That was the perfect opportunity to bring it up. Right? Anyway, you fortunately blessed person, you. Let's see. Wow, you got the chance to talk to her. Wow. Wow. She's really sweet. So I'm sure she'd grant your channel a pass. Oh, really? Also, her hidden object video game is. So your overanalysis in full. Crystal Blue Star 292's theory goes as follows, where Pung's story takes place. I guess you talking to her is giving you hints. A quaint little town in Italy. Quite the eye-catcher of a place. What's its name? The townsfolk are nice, too, so you ask them. But they wouldn't tell you. It's known for a few things. Some of these seem like parallels to the setting in her work as a whole. Neutral warm color, a staple in Pung's works. Elevated on a hill when they are up high, it looks like the town is endless. Rapid weather changes. See the first date in 3 quarters. ... Clear to rainy almost instantly. Romantic. In Italy, one of the most romantic countries in the world. Most of the areas are counted for in close vicinity. There are lovely waterfalls, an ocean not too far off, and open fields. Now, what I didn't tell you is that this town, Colabraro, if that's how is it Colabraro or is it Colabrero? It's probably Colabrero, knowing the Italian language. It's a very passionate country. Colabrero! Si. Has a dark secret. It is cursed through only for people that are visitors. Cursed? But only for the visitors. Okay. That gets me into a different question I had. What happened to Dee as a kid? I mean, it was established that Dee had an illness throughout his youth. Why was M not wishing for elaboration on something as big as being hospitalized for his entire childhood? My guess is that this is a normal occurrence in this town. He was afflicted with the curse. That, or he just has an undisclosed immunodeficiency. But still a fun theory. You're gonna have to come up with more evidence to imply that the town is cursed. I mean, sure, the Pung series does have its quirks, like Garfield the cat being able to teleport from place to place. I ran her Discord when she had it. No, the theories were not assisted by Pung, just my own observations. Right. You ran her Discord server? I meant she's not from the town itself. Right. How did you run her Discord server? That's a big responsibility. I'm surprised you didn't bring the tons of other followers or whatnot with you. I guess you were undercover or something. Head mod. Bro, it died so suddenly. Did it get raided? Was it just not enough people on it? It happens. It happens, man. Such a shame. You must have gone to Pung's Discord channel back when it was still active and then talked to her from there. Right, that would make sense. No, Pung herself found it difficult to run. Sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear about that, Pung. But you know what? If there's anything I've learned from Pung and certainly from other people in my life is more beautiful and easier once you realize how simple it ought to be. Pung's animations remind us of that. We often make things more complicated than they need to be. And in our hurt, we want to make, we make these grandiose statements. When in reality, all we need is a hug. We're broken people, man. We need love. All of us. All of us do. That is something I've learned in recent years. And it's a message I would highly encourage you to embrace. You're going to need it for whatever it is you have to overcome, or whatever it is you've been running away from for some time. I talked on Discord and on Patreon. I sent her a gift box inspired by her I Miss You series. Preach. Hashtag preach. Thank you very much. You sent her a gift box? Okay. You and I need to talk. I have no idea what has been going on in the past 5 minutes. That's P. It's Korean animator who's like I don't know if I have Discord level. I have Discord too. We need to get in touch. I don't know if you've been keeping up with some of my live streams, but I've been playing a game series about this cute couple, and it's made by a Korean illustrator, and the series is called like Love is in the Small Things. I also made a video about recommending Pung. So the reason why she's named herself Pung is it's just naming yourself after the sound of popcorn. Pung. It's very charming. And she goes to the HMU. Call me maybe. I have no idea what HMU means. But anyway, I'd recommend watching Pung's channel because it's very relaxing to hit me up. Right. Then there is me trying to keep Metatron's Discord civil. Oh man. I mean, the thing is, Baron, I think you're doing a good enough job as it is. I mean, Metatron attracts the kind of crowd who cares about the truth and nothing but the truth, regardless of whose side you're on. So, I mean, I guess the kind of audience Metatron attracts are civil by default, but at the same time, there's probably going to be angry extremists who are very bitter about being denied the truth for so long that they take on a radical stance, perhaps. So, keep them in check, keep them in balance. Anyway, I suppose, talking of Discord, I guess this is as good a time as any to advertise my own channel. Let's see if this actually works this time. I tried. There was a ridiculously lengthy process in me trying to invite other people in the past. It kind of got hilariously ridiculous in one of my live streams regarding it was I was playing It was the DreamWorks kart racing game. I was trying to invite. Was it Alec or was it somebody else? I think it was Super Sam actually. Okay, so I don't know if this is gonna work, but go. See if that worked. Yes! Yes, it worked! It worked! Yes! Welcome to the Discord server, Crystal Blue Star 292. Welcome, welcome. Nice. Baron, feel free to hop in as well if you want. The more the merrier. We might need someone like you to keep the place in check. Well, you're already running the Metatron stuff as it is, but yeah, you're in. You're in, all right. Tell us all about Pung. Yes, although, all right. All right, I'm going to give you a duty. Your first duty, should you accept it, my squire? Tell us about the Pung. I'm talking about the Pung here. Everyone in the Discord server must know. They must know the information. Right. Anyone else who happens to be watching, feel free to click the Discord link. And also strong wills and people who feel they know better, especially when they really chill. Right. I want some Metatron. Yeah. Metatron's a great guy. He's got a lot of dignity to him. Keeping things balanced, keeping things in perspective, just looking at the evidence, just as it is. And I thought so, Baron, because I gotta admit, I went through a similar phase myself. The reason why I say nurture is important to ground the heart is because I had a friend of mine, several people in my life actually, helped me to get grounded and not be so heady and legalistic. Probably one of the most neutral history YouTubers out there. Absolutely, I'm into that. Gosh, I mean, I guess while I'm mentioning about nurture, going back to Neverland, there's a friend of mine who has helping me realize the power of nurture. This person said that they've been on adventures around the globe, going from holiday to holiday, seeing like spectacle after spectacle. But it all felt shallow. But this person was interacting with people in their everyday life. And this person eventually found out that love is the greatest adventure. Love is the fulfilling adventure. We all need love. So I'm just very grateful to be genuinely building genuine communities, you guys. It's so great. It really means a lot to me, especially given what I've been through and what I've learned. He does share controversial drama stuff too, though. I mean, so I guess it's inevitable that he's gonna draw in that sort of extremist crowd. But the extremists need to know their place and to, have a balanced outlook. Yes, but even then, he still stays in the middle. It's all about the truth. I'm into that. I will tell you this, we need better fan art. Crystal Blue has shared us some information on the Discord server, boys. We need the better fan art. I see what you mean, Crystal Blue Star. I can make fan art. You know what? I should probably make a video in the future where I make my own fan art of the Pung couple because I mean it's a start, but maybe for Tim Burton, but no. You're all I'll ever watch Asmongold. I've heard of the guy. He's I heard I thought he was on like one side, but then there seems to be some mixed reception to him. I guess that's you want to human beings, I guess. I love neutrality and truth here. Yes! Right. Right. I'm surprised that the people who were trying to get in contact with me haven't contacted me. And he is pretty in the middle, I think. Are we still talking about Metatron? Oh, sorry, Asmongold. Sorry, Asmongold. Of course. Right. Yeah. It's good to keep a balanced perspective because on the one hand, too much freedom can mean, well, as I was saying about Neverland earlier, so I guess it's just as well I brought it up. Too much freedom means you're escaping responsibilities and you cannot tolerate any sampling of responsibility, but at the same time, on the other hand, if you're too much of a workaholic, then you'll end up taking this very rigid stance where you don't give people a chance, and that rhymes. Right. Ammon is good when he is not doing the Asmon personality. Not doing the Asmon. Well, everyone's got a personality. I guess it's a case of whether we're pretending or not. Depends on the nature of pretending, right? All right. Back to the Discord server. Crystal Blue Star is typing something up. Looking forward to the response. Wow, the timeless virtue in modern day issues. Man, so deep. Yeah. As I said, we gotta aim for timeless beauty. And what I'm trying to encourage on this channel is to create timeless art that points to timeless beauty. There's a reason why stories like specific depictions of Peter Pan, the Beauty and the Beast, Lord of the Rings, Seventh Seal, and those kind of films that I'm trying to endorse. Those kind of films are timeless. Why? Because they have timeless beauty in them. If you're avoiding that, then it doesn't become timeless, it becomes dated. So the reason why a lot of films tend to flop and do terribly is because they're scared of timeless beauty. Timeless beauty seems to involve this sort of objective responsibility and weight to it, which people are afraid of. But if you embrace love, then no issue. Just go in, have fun, and inspire others. Like, life becomes much more beautiful when you realize how simple it ought to be. Right. All right, Crystal Blue Star 292 on the Discord server says, I'll tell you what, magic aliens and portals exist in her world. Em apparently has a connection with an alien. Put in the tinfoil hat. All right. Oh, I just realized Baron's on here. Sorry. How long has Baron been on here? Since 1, 2, 3. Sorry, 3 minutes ago. I'm sorry. Hi, Baron. Baron's gone on the Discord server and I didn't even notice. Elusiveness of distraction. Right. Baron von Boom Boom. You think Asmon has a personality? He don't. Everyone's got a personality. Of course everyone's got a personality. It's a case of who's just more interesting than who. Bah! Anyway. So it's a case of if your personality can be used in a constructive manner. Yeah. Can be applied in a constructive manner. Like a character persona. Persona! Right. Yeah, it's people tend to put on a persona like obviously like a persona can be a fun thing for like if you're like, you know, putting on a deliberately sort of fictionalized version of yourself. You know, that can be played up for laughs and for fun. But there is a danger in using that kind of persona for showing yourself as someone that you're not. Very much like similar to how Aladdin was being Prince Ali, mighty is he, Ali Ababwa in, you know, Disney's Aladdin. he wishes to be a prince, and then he puts on a facade of someone that he's actually not, and he pays the consequences for it because he can only keep up the lies for so long. I guess it's similar to that. All right. Crystal Blue Star 292 also says, I really want to make a breakdown of her animated series in full over the characters, every single one. That's what this channel is for. So go for it. And he's typing in already because he's still listening in. Oh gosh, that's so good. I need to use more timeless stuff. I gotta go. Peace. Yeah. I'll be with you, my friend. Go in peace. Go in peace. Hope I've been a blessing to you. All right. Yippee! Also, she. Yeah, right. Just get on with the explaining, please. On with the explaining, please. The pressure is on. I mean, take your time. Take your time, mate. I mean, I can wait. I can wait. I guess it's the pressure of having being live as well, isn't it? Yeah, definitely wait. I have a lot of characters to go up. All right. I mean, take all the time you need. I should probably stop talking about it and just let you type away. Maybe I should just end this live stream just so you can focus. I gotta cook dinner anyway. But yeah, it's been a pleasure talking to all of you. It's very sad that this actress has passed away. We'll remember her fondly. It may be that we won't, with people who pass away, there may be times when there's people we disagree with at times. But at the same time, people are still people. We got to respect them, So, is there anything else that needs to be mentioned? Actually, I suppose I really need to catch up with Downton Abbey and some other of the Maggie Smith comedies. It's so many stuff I wish I could catch up with. So much to do, so little time for other stuff. You know what? Let's make up for lost time. Feel free to spread the word. People are still people, indeed. I know this far too well. Yeah. Got to treat them as such. Love your neighbors, you would love yourself. That's what makes the world go round. All right, 75 quick. Oh, sweet, nice. Wow. All right. Take your time. Feel free to hop on my Discord server if you haven't already. I'll be willing to accommodate you, but I will warn you, I've got the anti-raid thing going on, so be careful what you wish for. Right. Let's see, just... Okay, there we go. I did some editing. Oh, that's better. Oh, that's much better. Aw. Go on the Discord channel to understand the context. A lot better than that DeviantArt stuff I found out. Yeah, exactly. Aw, I love that. See, Crystal Blue Line has made his own line art of the Pung couple. And unlike the other one, which was a bit disturbing, this one actually gets it right. It actually captures the sort of cuteness about it and sort of the wholesomeness about it. Yeah, much better. Because the thing about adaptation is that you've got to capture sort of the tone of it, as it were. I suppose I need to take on the tone of responsibility. Anything. I don't think there's much else that needs to be said. Discord server is on the go. Forming communities. Let's embrace love. All right, that's a good place to end it all. Thank you all so much for watching, and hope to see you guys at some other live stream. I should probably do a Pung live stream later on, but I suppose if there's one thing I'd like to mention, if you haven't already, feel free, if you're in the UK, feel free to donate to my 10K run, and hopefully that could be a little bit more cash to combat multiple sclerosis. Nice. Okay, someone's showing me fan art. I need to really get going now. All right. I don't think there's much more that needs to be said. Oh, you nailed it, mate. You have nailed it. I love smiling friends. You've nailed it. Sorry. He showed me sort of a meme where the Pung couple duplicate the meme from Smiling Friends where Charlie says, "Look, Pella, I know it's our job to help this guy out, but I think he's a lost cause. He's obviously clear on his mind. Why don't we just cut our losses and get out of here?" So it's... And the commenters, gosh, yeah, that's right. There's so many commenters who are so depressed that they don't have a romantic partner. That's so true. I mean, people, look, I get it. Like, with Pung's animations, it makes you yearn to live a happy life and have a couple. But at the same time, there's other forms of love you could be inspired to delve headfirst into. Like, not everyone's called for marriage. I mean, you could be taking care of your siblings, your parents, your friends, your community, your work colleagues. There's other forms of love that you can take on. In fact, I would encourage people to focus on their single lives and how they relate to others before they even think about marriage, because so many people in their loneliness and depression have this black and white mentality of just jumping straight into marriage, like head first. No, guys, you can't go into marriage with a broken, fragmented mind. You have to understand how love works in the first place. You need nurture to ground your heart. I was watching a YouTuber who said, take on the job of a waiter or a waitress. It will humble you to consider the interests of other people more than your own. So you need to actually care about others more than yourself. Like, look, I get it. Life is full of hurts. It's full of anxious stuff, but at the same time, you've got your responsibilities. There's this whole great future out there for you. Like, I know things are bad, but you can make things better. Stop complaining and just get out there. Open up to new communities, new people. It's great stuff. Focus on the small things. Yeah, love is in the small things, as Pung has been trying to tell you people. Like, it's in the small things. It's in the gestures you give. It's in opening words. It's in the kind words. It's not in the grandiose stuff. I mean, people get too focused on the grandiose. Like, people, they suffer from black and white thinking. Just stop it. Stop it. Just embrace grace. That's all you need. Wait, what? She died. Hi, Firecracker. Yeah, Maggie Smith died. It's very unfortunate. So yeah, great actress. I'm about to end the live stream, but feel free to just watch through the live stream just to catch up on things. Wait, she was in 90s? No, I thought she was in her 90s too, but to my surprise, she was actually 89 when she passed away just earlier this morning. Bro, D&M aren't even married yet. I know, right? There's even like a picture of like D&M in what looks like the wedding suit. Like, did you see that? Like that one picture where like where M is like holding her hand like this, and then D is like holding her hand like holding up a dress with a smile on her face. Like, that just very overtly looks like they're in a wedding dress, and yet somehow in the lore they're not married. I just look at that picture and I just think, just get married already! That is not a canon drawing. What was that supposed to be? For Pete's sake, stop teasing us like this, Pung! Just have them get married! Have kids already! I would not encourage like excessive shipping at stuff, but stuff like this is the exception where they're so clearly in love with each other in a healthy way. Just get married already! Pung draws stories of others using it's the exception. He says, yeah, this is the exception. Get married already! My days. Like, how long can you keep teasing us like this? You've been teasing this for years! Oh man. I guess I should probably end this stream on a high note. Especially with what Maggie Smith herself would say in the Lady in the Van film, that I would get to have the last laugh. That's all, folks. Go out there and love others, and if you've missed anything in the live stream, watch back. Feel free to join my Discord server if you want. Peace. God's Thinker signing out.